it with faith, and I believe it so. And 2,000 years have now transpired. But yet the Jewish people did not embrace all the words. Some have converted to Christianity, but many have not. Why? And even 300 years after the death of the Christ and the resurrection, the mighty Roman Empire, through Constantine, agrees that we shall pray to the Son of God through Jesus, the descendant of this backwater tribe of the Middle East. 300 years it took. And still, another 200 years, 300 years, a messenger called Muhammad brings some more to the same descendant, a cousin you would say, a brother, a half-brother, a full brother, a half-brother. In the books of Abraham, there is Ishmael and there is Isaac. Sons of Isaac are the Jewish nation. Sons of Ishmael is the Arabian people. This is the Torah, this is the Bible, this is the Quran. So, I was born into a Christian family of a mother and father that are Arabic, from a country called Syria that speaks Arabic. People call them Arabic. In Syria, our family is Christian, and in Syria there is prejudice between Christianity and Islam. But I was born in the United States of America, that is a Christian nation. And I, born with the name Solomon, my father and mother both told me of, I would ask when I was a child, Solomon, who's Solomon? Of Solomon's temple. But it's spelled to differentiate between those who would follow the family of Ishmael and the family of Isaac. It was spelled differently than those who would consider themselves to be of the Jewish lineage. My name was spelled differently, and I was put in the category of the Arab. There's the Jew and the Arab. As a little child, I began to grow up in this world of prejudice, and this is how I was raised, to begin to see the ridiculousness of mankind. Not only with prejudice by way of religion, color, all forms of religion. I began to learn as a child what's going on. Well, when the messages began 10 years ago, I immediately knew who I was. I started this message to you by telling you I am the Messiah. I knew immediately who I was. Because of the position I am in, born of an Arabian family household, home, of at least several generations. Jesus, 2,000 years ago, 20 centuries. How many families live in 1 century? 4 to 5? This means 80 to 100 families have now lived since the times of Jesus. 70 to 80 families, Muhammad. 200-300 since Moses. You do the math. I knew in me I am a Jew. I know in me I am an Arab. I know in me I am all things. I want to say this. I want to say by observation and knowledge itself that any human baby, any human being on this planet who does not like another by way of prejudice, pick who you do not like. I will tell you, your own child, if they were born and placed in the country of these people you do not like, your own very child and offspring would learn the language and the culture of these people. The people that you hate by way of prejudice, your own offspring would become this person. Human beings are what we are raised, how we are taught, and how we are loved. I know this merely as a scientist of observation. But I was raised with Christ in my heart, and I was introduced to every messenger on this planet, and equally I accept all of them. For God is greater than all of our ridiculous attitudes we have towards one another. For I will assure you that prejudice itself is the root of all evil. For prejudice is nothing more than ignorance. Nothing more. If you are white and hate a black man, or vice versa, I will assure you by genetic engineering in several generations, you will soon change your genetic code and you will change absolutely any feature of the human body. Your eye color, your hair color, absolutely anything. But you will never change the spirit inside you. You will never change who you are. So to be prejudiced is to be foolish, is to be ignorant. But this is man. So, by way of knowledge and by the way of God that I always felt and know that there is something greater, and by the way of embracing the Christ in my heart, I have lived my life. And I have met Moses, and I have met Muhammad, and I have met all the world's messengers. But today I have come to say to the Trinity of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, something is occurring before all of us in this very century. I want to say this. I knew who I was 10 years ago, but how do you tell another? I have always kept it to myself because I knew why I was after deflecting gravity. Are you okay, cousin? My cousin's moving around a bit here. My cousin, I will call him Thor. His name is Thayer. I call him Thor. He's in some of my writings upon the internet. I believe I have solved the energy crisis by way of the lightning bolt. My cousin, I like to call him Thor. Mythical Greece, Thor, thunder. You're all right? He's all right. Okay, I know. He's putting up with this. I do what I do because the time has come to speak up. Now, when I knew who I was, I understood immediately what I was after since the age of 17. That I was looking for a gift for humanity. No more than a fruit basket, in a way. That I could give to my fellow man merely so that I would, in return, a little bit of air of dignity and respect, that you would just hear my case, hear my story. And this is what I want to tell you. But I did not deflect gravity. At the age of 33, I received the message